My son found a voicemail saved on our home phone from 2004. It was my voice, but I don't remember making it. We still have a landline. My wife thinks it's charming. I think it's a dust collector, but I stopped arguing about it years ago. Our son Theo is 12, and last Saturday he was doing what 12-year-olds apparently do, which is poke at every object in the house that isn't a screen until something interesting happens. He came into the living room holding the receiver. Dad, you have an old voicemail saved on here. From 2004. I didn't even look up from the couch. That's probably just a glitch. The machine's ancient. No, it's saved. It says saved. And it's your voice. That got my attention. I sat up. What does it say? He pressed the button and held it out. There was a pause, then static, then my voice. Younger, but unmistakably mine. Hey, it's me. I just wanted to say I love you. I need you to know I love you. Don't forget that, okay? No matter what. Don't forget. Then a click. Theo was watching my face. Dad, who did you call that to? I didn't answer. I couldn't, because that voicemail was left on our home phone, which means I called our home number from our home number. You can't do that. It makes no sense. And I had absolutely no memory of recording it. My wife Dana walked in from the kitchen. I made Theo play it again. Dana listened with her arms crossed, then looked at me. You don't remember that? I don't remember it at all. She was quiet for a second. 2004. We weren't even together yet in 2004. She was right. We met in 2006. So who was I leaving that message for? In a house I wouldn't move into for 2 more years? On a phone line that didn't belong to me yet? I did not sleep that night. The next morning I called my father, who has a memory like a steel trap and zero patience for drama. I played him the recording over the phone. He didn't say anything for a long moment. Where did you find that? Saved on our landline. Dad, what is it? Another pause. What's the date stamp on it? March 4th, 2004. He inhaled slowly. Your Uncle Roy lived in that house before you and Dana. You know that. I did know that. Dana and I had bought the house from my uncle when he moved to Portland. Small world. We'd always thought it was a funny coincidence. Roy had a son, my father said. I froze. What? Before you were born, Roy had a baby. He was 19. The boy was adopted. Roy never talked about it. I only knew because I was his little brother and I figured it out. My mouth went dry. Dad, his name was Carl. He'd be about your age now. Same voice as every man in our family. You know how we all sound alike. I sat down on the kitchen floor. My legs just stopped working. Carl tracked Roy down in 2004. My father continued, his voice careful and quiet. Roy told me about it afterward. They spoke once, on the phone. Roy wasn't ready. He told Carl he needed time, and then he moved to Portland 6 months later and changed his number. So that voicemail, Carl left it on Roy's machine. Roy must have saved it. When he sold the house, the machine stayed. The voicemail stayed with it. I sat on that kitchen floor for a long time after we hung up. A man I've never met left a message for a father who wasn't ready to receive it. The machine held onto it for 20 years, through a sale, through 2 families, through my son's entire childhood sitting right there on the hallway table. I called my Uncle Roy that afternoon. He picked up on the 3rd ring. I told him what Theo had found. I read him the date. I played it for him over the phone. He didn't say anything for almost a full minute. When he finally spoke, his voice had completely changed. I kept that message for 2 years before I moved, he said. I couldn't delete it. I just couldn't. I thought leaving the machine behind was easier than taking it with me. Do you know where he is now? Carl? I've thought about reaching out for years. A long breath. I just never let myself. Uncle Roy. He said don't forget. Silence. He said it like he meant it. My uncle called me back 4 hours later. He'd found Carl through an adoption registry both of them had quietly joined years ago without ever matching. One would let his registration lapse right as the other joined. They kept missing each other by months. They spoke for the first time in 20 years last Sunday evening. I don't know everything they said. That's not mine to know. What I do know is that Theo has no idea what he started. He just thought it was interesting that the old phone had a saved message. I told him later that the voicemail was from a family member who had lost touch with someone he loved and that he'd helped them find each other. He shrugged and said, cool, and went back to whatever he was doing. Roy and Carl are meeting in person next month. My uncle called to tell me, and he was crying so hard I could barely understand him. He said, tell Theo he gets to keep the phone.